Yo, what is going on, guys? Wow, that was a great intro. Awesome. Okay, what's going on, guys? It's Techno here, your coach of the Carolina Pantherians, and today we're going to be back with our CPC Week 5 battle. We're currently 3-1 with a really nice win versus Will the RNG Lord, William the Lord of RNG, as he is sometimes otherwise known as. And yeah, that win did put us in a pretty good position. I believe now we are third in our conference. But we do have another conference match this week, up against Chime, coach of the Gaia Gardevoirs. Now he is currently 2-2, so he's definitely going to be looking for a win this week, and we just can't let that come to him. So yeah, we do have some history with Chime. He was in the IBL back when we were in it. He did beat us in the finals, which was unfortunate. Sorry, I have like something in my throat. I don't know. But yeah, he did beat us in the finals, which was obviously unfortunate. And then we played in the GOT, where we did take a pretty unfortunate loss. Not going to get too much into that. Uh, just a lot of things going not my way. But either way, it doesn't matter anymore because we are here now for the CPC, and he does have a whole new, very threatening team. So let's just go over what he has. So he has Megalopony, Thunderous Incarnate, which is a Z user. Slowbro, Tangrowth, Flygon, which is another Z user, Florges, the Blade, Nihilego, Cryogonal, and Magmar. So, a very threatening offensive team, as well as a lot of good defensive options. A couple of things I noticed about his team. So, one, his regen core isn't all that good this matchup. Um, I do have like a lot of ways to just really pressure it. Like for example, this one you can see right here. I do have my Mega Glalie, which will get access to Freeze Dry, and just bop them both. And Mega Glalie just absolutely puts a dent in his whole team. If I do decide to bring it, which as you guys can see, I'll get into that in a sec. Um, let's see. Also, mons like Xurkitree with their Signal Beam attacks do really well. Landorus Incarnate does very well versus it. Another thing I noticed is, although his offensive mons are very threatening, usually when I prep defensive mons for a team, I like go try to like maximize make my EV spreads like the most optimal they can be in terms of like mixing up my defense and special defense stats. However, this matchup, the threats to my team, they only really attack on one side. That I'm really afraid of. Like, for example, Megalopony, I'm not afraid of a special Megalopony. Thunderous Eye, even though it can attack on both sides pretty well, special is definitely the way to go this matchup, in my opinion. Let's see, Flygon, Dragon Dance, Tectonic Rage is the mains that I'm really afraid of. And that's, I'm not afraid of any, like, special set, because I do have my Tapu Fini. And then Mons like Nihilego, Deblade, which is all pretty self-explanatory. So, yeah, well, I could go very in depth with some of my spreads. There's no reason to this matchup. It would kind of just hurt me a lot more than it would help me. But that being said, so I do have a game plan going into this matchup, and basically, I realized I have a lot of mons that just really beat down his whole team offensively. Landorus Incarnate, Xurkitree, Chandelure, Mega Glalie, even my Skuntank does really, really well versus him. So I just had to kind of like keep that in mind. So for the mons that I didn't bring this week, because there were definitely a lot of mons on the table that I did want to bring, but just couldn't really get myself to bring. Latias I was going to bring this week. I was going to bring it as like a physically defensive mon. Um, and while I could have brought it as an offensive mon, I thought that a lot of other mons did its offensive job better, not having to deal with like Florges as much, and mons like Deblade. Um, but also, if I was going to bring that, then I'd probably bring like a Wish Protect set. But the reason I didn't is because although, yes, Latias can probably take hits from Megalopony just as well as stuff like Tapu Fini can, I also don't want to risk like another thing that's weak to Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance, freaking what's it called? Dragon Dance Flygon with Tectonic Rage, because that's just a really big threat to my team. Um, Mega Glalie, I was gonna bring like a full special set with like Ice Shard and then like Shadow Ball and the other move, which would have been really nice bring this matchup. But at the end of the day, I decided that my other offensive mons were going to do a lot better this matchup. I'll get into why later. And then last mon is Skuntank. I just felt like it would only really work well in like a balanced team. It does do very well this matchup versus his Regenerator Core, his Florges, all of those. However, I just felt like it wasn't worth me bringing it. There are a lot of mons that could also do well versus him, and other mons that could definitely like wall his team. So without further ado, let's just get right into what I did decide to bring. So the first one you guys can see that I brought is going to be my Landorus Incarnate with a Life Orb with Earth Power, Hidden Power, Ice, Sludge Wave, and Rock Polish. So this was mainly going to be my first breaker for the team. And, well, I could have ran Mega Glalie in the spot or whatever. I decided I was actually just going to run Landorus because I do also have the setup option, as well as the fact that I kind of felt like a ground type on my team would be pretty nice, because a lot of my game plan does revolve around him not being Scarf Thunderous, and if he is Scarf Thunderous, I want to be able to punish him for it. So, Hidden Power Ice, Sludge Wave, and Earth Power was a really big toss-up for me. I wanted to bring Rock Slide so that I could what's it called? Deal with the Cryogonal, but I ultimately decided not to. I could have probably brought like Life Orb, Iron Tail for the Florges and the Cryogonal, but what I decided is I kind of need HPI so that Flygon doesn't just wall me, and I also probably need Sludge Wave to deal with the Tangrowth, because Tangrowth is going to take absolutely nothing from an HPI just because of how like bulky it is naturally, especially if it has an Assault Vest, it'll take even less. So yeah, that's going to be our Landorus this week. It's a pretty good mon this matchup, does a really nice job versus this core. Slowbro doesn't want to take Earth Powers at all. A lot of other mons just really don't want to switch into any of my attacks, and yeah, that's going to be our Landorus. So, with Landorus being on the team, I wanted to kind of like make this a more offensive team with like a couple of walls along the lines, but I didn't want to focus too much on my walls. So I brought Spikes, Knockoff, Curse, and Gyro Ball, Ockerberry, Ferrothorn with max HP, max Def, and 4 defense. Now, like I said, I don't really need any like complicated EV spreads on my mons this week. I think they'll be perfectly fine with what they have. But yeah, this was mainly so I could get up like a Spike option versus his team. His only 2 hazard removals are Flygon and Cryogonal. Like I said, I do expect the Flygon to be a Dragon Dance set. Cryogonal I can managed to like take down with my Chandelure and spin block, so that's all fine with me. So yeah, I wanted Spikes up because it does just help my other mons in the back do a lot better versus his team. Knockoff was another really big move for me. It was all part of a game plan I had. So one, it obviously hits the blade, Thunderous if I do get a curse up, which is pretty nice. But the other thing about it is that I am now able to knock off an Assault Vest in case the Landorus Incarnate does want to get a Sludge Wave off on the Tangrowth and just absolutely destroy it, because without a Soft Fist it will definitely not take a Sludge Wave from a Sheer Force Life Orb Landorus Incarnate. So yeah, then I also have Gyro Ball, just because like mons like Nihilego are a really big problem. Nihilego is a very big problem for this team. It's also for stuff like Flygon if they want to set up on me, even Lopunny if I predict him to go for return or something, predicting my Tapu Fini. But yeah, that's mainly the idea of that. And then Curse, mainly for his Regenerator Core. Just definitely helps me with a lot of his bulkier mons. Doesn't help me with the Blade because he can just get Sacred Swords off and ignore all my stat boosts, which is annoying, but either way, it's totally fine. And I have Ockerberry because Nihilego, like I said, it's a very big threat versus my team. So I want to like have just a really good response to it in my Ferrothorn, as well as some of my other mons. And like Ockerberry without H3 Fire, it can't really touch my Ferrothorn at all. So that's all pretty good. Sorry, it's something in my mouth there for a second. But yeah, so that's going to be our Ferrothorn this week. Next one that I'm bringing, going to be Scarf Xurkitree. I believe this is the first time I've brought Scarf Xurkitree this season. Let me think. I can't. Yeah, it is. The other 2 times I brought Z status, but yeah, Scarf Circuitry, one of my favorite sets. Obviously, it's just a very good set versus a lot of teams. But yeah, I have Volt Switch, Signal Beam, Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam. So the reason I opted for Dazzling Gleam over Hidden Power Ice is because not only did I want an option to kill the Flygon, but I also wanted an option to just be able to Oko the Lopunny, like after rocks. Because Thunderbolt, although it is very strong from a Circuitry, likely won't be able to do that. But Dazzling Gleam, since it is super effective coverage, always does. So that's also very nice. Signal Beam is there for mons like Tangrowth. It's also so that I didn't like feel the need to run like an immediate hidden power. I can just do quick damage to it. It's especially nice versus the Regenerator Core. If he does find out that I'm Scarf, I can just lock myself into a move and beat down both of them. So yeah, that's very nice versus his team. And yeah, not much to say about this thing, except for the fact that it just absolutely destroys him. Especially with my spikes up, he just really doesn't have anything for this mon. So yeah, very excited to use it this week. The next one that we do have, by the way, this is like one of my kill leaders. I believe it's like 6-1 right now. And if I didn't mess up week 1, then I probably would have gotten a lot more kills with this thing, and this thing might just be in the lead for the league. But you know, it's all cool. The next one that we have is going to be our Chandelure. So I'm rocking a lot of special attackers this week, and I'm pretty much entirely special attackers in terms of my offense. But I wanted one of them to be like a good special attacker versus him. So I decided it was going to be my Chandelure. Now the reason I say it's a good special attacker is because this one is able to deal with the Florges a lot better than the others. If I brought my Mega Glalie, I would have probably had to run a set that couldn't afford return, and yeah, then the Florges is just a bigger problem for my team. Don't want to deal with that. So yeah, you guys can see my set. I am Sub, Calm Mind, Fire Blast, and Shadow Ball. Now, I do fully expect him to be like, if he is the only set that will be able to beat me is Calm Mind, like Hidden Power is super effective, like Hidden Power Ground or something. And since I do have my Ferrothorn just sitting right here, and I feel like it is a bigger threat to Florges than a typical Chandelure would be, I think that he'd probably run Hidden Power Fire on his Florges, if anything. Which should be able to mean that my Chandelure is able to beat it 1v1, because Sub Calm Mind, he can't break my sub with Moonblast, Calm Mind up, and then if I get up enough Calm Minds, I basically just nab 2 kills no matter what, which is really nice for my team, just being able to like grab kills and go. Fire Blast and Shadow Balls are also just very nice coverage versus his team. Helps me a lot with his Regenerator Core, as a lot of my mons do. And yeah, that's going to be our Chandelure this week. You guys can see my next mon is going to be my Gigalith. Now, I don't know why I have Toxic. I actually changed that for Explosion last minute. But the reason I have this set is mainly just to get up rocks, as well as beat down mons like Thundurus and Nihilego. Not much to say about this one. Tropical Berry is there for the Thundurus, obviously, and yeah, this is my main response to those mons. Really nice to have a response to them, especially because the rest of my team is so weak to it. And then the last mon that I have on my team is going to be our Rocky Helmet Tapu Fini with Moonblast, Nature's Madness, Surf, and Taunt. Now, it's definitely a lot more like attacks than I might want. I don't have defog on this team, which is annoying, but I think I should be able to play around it if I do, like, obviously play right. Um, but yeah, Moonblast and Nature's Madness. Moonblast is there for the Lopunny. This is my main Lopunny counter. Um, So yeah, the Lopunny counter is really nice to have this matchup because the rest of my team obviously loses to it. Xurkitree, although it can just OHKO it, it does risk like fake outs and stuff. So having a nice switch in is just very nice versus him. And then Surf, I believe, it was. Oh yeah, I remember. It was so that I could beat down like the blade a lot easier. Which in hindsight was probably like not the best move, but also it helps me versus like Scarf Nihilego if it's locked into a move that I can just hit it on. Although Nihilego probably takes nothing from Tapu Fini, and then Taunt is there for mons like Slowbro and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be our team this week. And I'll get right into the battle. Alright, so here we are at the battle, and as you guys can see, he brings a team consisting of Nihilego, Tangrowth, Mega Lopunny, still have that thing, Flygon, Florges, and Thundurus Incarnate. So I noticed that only one part of his Regenerator Core is here, which makes sense. The full Regenerator Core wasn't very good versus me. And yeah, his team is pretty much what I expected, just a lot of threats. Flygon, obviously a really big threat, Nihilego. Mega Lopunny, a pretty big threat. Thundurus is also a pretty big threat. So, looking at this team, he only has one rocker. It's his Nihilego, so I do expect it to be a Rocks Nihilego. Just because rocks do pressure my team pretty well. So, that being said, I do expect him to lead off with it, so I just lead right off with my Ferrothorn because it's a really nice counter lead. Lets me get up my spikes, and like I said, I don't expect this thing to be, what's it called? A defog set, because I do expect it to be like Dragon Dance. But something to note about Nihilego is I do expect it to be like a Focus Dash set, and if that's the case, I don't want him getting 2 HP fires off of me and just killing my Ferrothorn. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to Gyro Ball turn 1 as he does go into his Tangrowth, and I'm like, okay, so this means I could probably just get up a Spike because he can't HP fire me. He goes for Focus Blast, doesn't do too much because I am max special defense, and on this turn I decide I'm just going to go right into my Chandelure. Is that on this turn? I don't think it is. Nope, I go into my Gigalith this turn, which might seem like a weird play to go Gigalith on Tangrowth, but I didn't think he'd stay in, as well as the fact that, like, I can now get on my rocks. It's pretty free rocks versus him, and I'm not too afraid of the, of this anymore, because I do have, like, faith I can get the plays right with my Xurkitree or whatever. So yeah, he goes for Grass Knot, and it does not too much to me, but it still does do a lot, which is leading me to believe that he is, like, a more special attacking set and not, like, a speed boosting set. What the hell? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so out of it right now, dude. Um, but yeah, so he goes for Grass Knot there, and now I'm gonna go into my Ferrothorn as he is going to go back into his Tangrowth, and I'm like, okay, sweet. So what this means is I will be able to get off a possible knockoff on this thing to get rid of his Assault Vest, and luckily I am able to do that. He does get rid of my Ockerberry, which is annoying, but either way, it's totally fine with me. On this turn, I'm pretty sure he's just going to go for Focus Blast, expecting me to get up another Spike. So I just go into my Chandelure. I do get that play right. And yeah, so here I'm able to just fire off a Shadow Ball. It does basically not be a kill versus him. I didn't think he'd go hard Lopunny because that's just really no play. And on this turn, I kind of make a misplay, so I decide I'm just going to go into my Gigalith, letting it take damage for no reason. I thought maybe he'd HP Fire predicting my Ferrothorn, but there was no reason to do that, because I learned the hard way that he's actually not like a locked set. Um, and he is annoyingly enough special attack boosting, which means my Xerkatry can't take a hit. If he was speed boosting, I'd try to take a hit with Xerkatry, but I'd have to stall at the sand, which is annoying, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Volt Switch here. I obviously can't Thunderbolt from this range because sand is up, so it's giving him special defense. But here I'm just able to sack off my Sarcophagus as he just Sludge Waves there. So it's all pretty annoying. But now what I can do is I expect him to HP Fire here, so I just don't want to like lose too many mons to this thing. So I just go right into my Xerkatry. I didn't think he'd go for any attack that would be able to like do anything to me. I go for Volt Switch again, and now I can just sack right off my Ferrothorn, which is totally fine with me. As he goes for Power Gem, and this into HP Fire will definitely be able to kill my Ferrothorn. Probably kills like 20 Ferrothorns. I don't even know. But yeah, so on this turn, I had a feeling that maybe he'd go into his Flygon, but I didn't really care, because I still do have like my Tapu Fini and my Landers in the back, so I'm totally cool versus that. I go for Volt Switch, as that does very little to him, to him, so I'm thinking that he's a more especially defensive set with Assault Vest too. And here I can just Sludge Wave, because it does basically not me a kill versus anything. If he goes Flygon, I just HP Ice, and yeah, that's totally cool. So now he goes Lopunny, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe on this turn, goes for like a random Ice Punch or something, and luckily enough he doesn't, and he just goes right for Fake Out, which does absolutely nothing to me. And I do get off Rocky Helmet damage, so nice. Getting off Rocky Helmet damage is very nice versus him. Goes into his Florges. By the way, his nicknames are just really, really like awful to deal with. I go for Moonblast. I get a little bit of an unfortunate special attack drop, but it's all like justice, dude. In the end, Taunt's gonna come out here just to make sure it can't like wish up or anything. And he does actually just go right for Calm Mind, which is pretty threatening. So what I can do here is I can go right into my Chandelure, mainly because I just don't want this thing to set up even more, which is what I'm mainly afraid of. So now I'm just going to sub here and try to just set up all over this thing, and I should be good to go. But unfortunately it does crit the Moonblast, so now I'm in a position where I have to sub again, which is annoying, but it's totally fine. It just means that I have to like try to like get a little bit like lucky versus him, but either way it's always a winning scenario. So kind of get into this like stalwart of us just like, clicking Calm Mind, and basically I'm just gonna put it the way it is. He's always on the losing end of this battle, mainly because he can't break my subs if I'm just at neutral, and I'm always gonna be able to sub, and maybe eventually I'll get a crit. If he gets many crits in a row, like, and I'm talking a lot of crits in a row, then that means that he can kill me and beat me, and this thing would definitely sweep my whole team at that point. But I am prepared for this. I do have this Calm Mind Chandelure set just for this Florges. And I was right in the fact that he wouldn't be an HP super effective Florges, because he's never going for it. He never went for it on my like original sub. So yeah, I'm at +4, or +6, I guess. And he goes for Moonblast. Gets another crit, which is kind of funny. Just he keeps critting all these Moonblasts. But yeah, Moonblast's gonna come out here. I resist, and then now it's the point where I just kind of fire off attacks. I go for Shadow Ball, looking for a Spadef drop. I don't get it. Goes for Calm Mind, gets the max special attack. But no matter what, that's not gonna save him at all. Fire Blast's gonna come out here, and we're gonna get the burn, which is honestly really fortunate for me. Just makes this whole process a lot faster. But yeah, no matter what, I would have been able to just stall it his whole team, which is really nice. Or just stall it this Florges at least. Moonblast's going to come out there again, and here I'm just able to go for another Shadow Ball and see what will happen. Maybe he'll Synthesis up on this turn, but he didn't do it last turn, so I'm not sure he'll do it this turn. He goes for he goes for another thing. I get this Spadef drop, which is nice in case the Synthesis is up here, but he fortunately doesn't, and he just lets me take this Florges. I want to get behind a sub too, so that nothing can revenge kill me and live, like the Flygon or the Mega Lopunny. So no matter what, I'm forcing another kill here. And I guess he just never wanted to recover up versus me because he never does it. He just keeps clicking Moonblast, and yeah, that's totally fine with me. This means that I will be able to get basically 2 kills on these turns, um, which is good. It's always nice to get kills with your mons, and yeah, just take down an entire team. He goes for Earthquake with his Flygon, and this is nice. So this Flygon's out of the way, really threatening in prep, but I'm totally cool with this going down. And now his only real response to taking me out is going to be the Lopunny. I could have gone into my Tapu Fini here, but no reason to risk return damage. It's just totally fine. I don't die to Quick Attack from this range, so I decide I'm going to go Xurkitree and just fire off a Thunderbolt so that I am able to just kill off this Tangrowth. And Tangrowth, surprisingly enough, lives the hit, so that just shows how much of a beast Tangrowth actually is, considering Xurkitree has 445 special attack, but it's not enough. Um, Here, basically my game plan, just thinking about it, is so I don't want to get swept by a random agility uh, agility like Thunderous or something. I also don't want to get Fake Out and then switched out and then Fake Out again, or Fake Out Quick Attack or whatever. So what I decided to do, I'm gonna go into my Lander so that this covers all plays. It doesn't let the Thunderous set up. Doesn't let this thing set up or anything. Because if he's Agility Poison EMZ or something, or Fight an EMZ or something, then he will be able to just kill out my Xercules, which is annoying. Because it would mean I would probably just lose the game. To any of his mons. But yeah, I go for Rock Polish here. That was actually a pretty big misclick on my part, and I was like, oh my gosh, please don't be Agility, because that would be so awful. But even still, I think I had a chance to live with my Tapu Fini. Luckily, it wasn't Agility, which is totally cool, because this means that I will just be able to go into my Xercules, and I will be able to kill off this thing. And now there's no reason for me to try to get MVP with this thing. I can just preserve differential, go hard into my Tapu Fini, get off some Rocky Helmet damage, and yeah, that's going to be the game. So, good game versus Chime. I feel like we did play and prep that whole game very, very well. The Nihilego incidents were kind of annoying, but other than that, we were totally fine in this battle. We were in pretty much a winning position the whole time. Our prep kind of let us do that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. So now we're 4-1. We go up against the Venice Shaman, coached by Carson, next week. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.